Hello and welcome to a spooky installment of Predictocast, the podcast where we predict a movie storyline after watching only the first 10 spooky minutes and knowing nothing else about it. I'm Josh, and with me as always is Skinner. Hey, Skinner.
Hey, Josh. It's just me. It's just Skinner.
So this week on the show, we are talking about 1987's Uninvited, starring George Kennedy, directed by Graydon Clark, who's made a bunch of random shit that you might have heard of. He did Joysticks. He did the MST3K classic Final Justice with Joe Don Baker. And so far, Uninvited, off to a good start, I will say.
Off to a good start. And if you want to watch along with us, which I believe was very difficult last month for a lot of movies that are near impossible to find, except for we have them.
Yes.
You may want to go to Amazon.com. You can rent it from Prime, or this week is brought to you by Josh and I subscribing to and then immediately hitting the button to not auto-renew in 1 week. Fandor, and that is Fandor. Have you heard of them? You shouldn't have. They are
I have heard of Fandor. They're great. They're actually really good. They do a lot of really good like video essays and film preservation stuff, and yeah, they're a good company.
Let's see. Fandor subsequently failed to get a round of funding to secure its financial obligations. In December 2018, the company laid off its entire staff. And these assets were sold.
I didn't know that. Oops.
Assets were sold to an undisclosed investment firm. Whose money?
It was not me.
It was not you. But like we almost gave money to them. We're not going to auto renew after the free 7-day trial. But if we did, who would it go to? Where would that money go to? Not to Ted Hope.
Certainly, Fandor was not purchased by Predictocast LLC.
We need an Amazon channel or at least a Roku channel that you have to put a code in from a skeevy website that will put malware on your computer to get it. I think we need to hit that level at the least.
Yeah. If anybody knows how to make that happen, get in touch with us. We'd love to program a film channel. It would just probably be movies that we've covered on the show, but it would be the most eclectic series of films you've ever seen.
Everyone wants to co-brand with our very valuable branding. Please let us know.
All right, let's talk about Uninvited. This is the right kind of movie for the season. We've got all kinds of things that we like. We've got some great music right out of the gate. It sounds super fucking cheap, but I love it.
This is an amazing film.
We've got
amazing movie.
Oh, that's right. It is made by a production company called Amazing Movie Productions.
I mean, like, imagine sitting down and that's what you came up with.
You're setting yourself up for failure, I'm afraid, if that is your production company name.
Guys, we got to think about who we are and what we do. What do we want to make? Well, man, we want to make amazing movies. That's who we are, man.
Yeah, I think Graydon Clark sounds like one of the Ninja Turtles.
I believe he's a Ninja Turtle. He's one of the, you can see his eyes when they open their mouth too wide in HD.
That's very scary.
Oh, man, this movie, finally, Josh. Finally. It's my secret cat movie.
Yes. So you have brought this up, I think, from the very beginning of the show. I think that like in one of our earliest mini episodes where you're predicting what might happen in the movie based on the title, I think that's when you dropped the idea that it could be a secret cat movie.
Yes. And I've always wanted, and like most of them aren't. Like there are cats movies, they're very, very unimportant, like Hell House, or they're not secret cat movies. They're cat movies. Like we watched when that cat movie came up on Hot Diggity Dog, which was a mistake. I don't know how the machine did that. But this movie, it's called The Uninvited. You wouldn't think it's about cats. And yet there's this beautiful cat in this movie.
Yeah. A beautiful cat with a beautiful rat inside it.
Is it a rat?
I don't know what's going on here.
What makes it more deadly because it comes out of a cat's mouth?
I don't know. Maybe it's an alien or something, because they're doing okay. So let's set up what we start with here. I know that I'm going to. I think I'm going to enjoy this movie. I already feel it in my bones, inside my skeleton. I can feel the love of this movie growing.
It's like in this movie, we see these people looking at an X-ray of a cat, and it has a tumor in it, and they say, "We got to cut open this tumor to find out what's inside that tumor," which is a rat monster. Inside the tumor, inside Josh, is love for this movie.
That's right. Yeah, so we open on an office building with some pounding music as the credits fly across the screen. And Skinner pointed out that like this is very exciting opening credit stuff for just a still shot of a building.
Like it's not even a spooky building. It just looks like the parking lot of a place you work at. I don't know where you work, but you work at this building because everyone does at some point in their life. It's so not threatening. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like a better way to start this would be like going through the halls of the building, like kind of creeping through and like with more sinister sounding music that we get maybe during the parking structure chase sequence. But like it's like this really pulse pounding stuff happening, and you're just looking at an image of a building, and it's like, okay. And then we cut inside. We see these doctors talking about if it's a tumor, if it's not a tumor, and they have a bunch of cats in cages, and they go and they pull out subject 618, I believe, and they bring it into the to the examination room, and they try to give it a shot of something, but the cat escapes and goes on a rampage. And I mean, that's putting it loosely, but basically the cat escapes and they send a bunch of guys after it. And these guys are all very ineffective.
They're moving not at the quickest of pace. They don't want to, they're clearly not comfortable walking in these costumes they're wearing, which are hilarious. We'll get to that in a second. But they don't want to fall down the stairs. And this cat is just going down the stairs like it's a normal cat. But because this cat is just a beautiful, regular, orange, long-haired cat, they have to constantly do the cat screeching sound, which you know what it is. TVs and movies think cats make them all the time. You may hear it from your own cat 3 times in its lifetime. But this cat, every time they put it on the screen, you hear over and over, and while the shots show the cat not doing anything at all.
Even before the hazmat guys, though, like the doctors who are trying to administer this shot to the cat, when it runs, it takes the other like potato face doctor to say, "Hey, stop that cat!" Like
Paul.
It feels like a good 2 seconds for him to react. Like he stands there for a second before he realizes, oh, he's talking to me.
So the main potato face guy, who's just the boring looking guy who seems to be in charge, he
looks like Dennis the Menace's dad, but doughier, as opposed
to Dennis the Menace's grandpa, who's in this movie. But like he spoiler, he dies. But does Paul die? Because I love how much he yells at Paul and makes sure to say Paul's name every time. Because his name is
we
Paul.
Don't know that for sure.
Paul let the cat out.
Paul did it. But we get who all dies, because he dies, the doctor dies.
He dies.
And then one of the security guards, and then a couple of the guys in the hazmat suits.
Yes. But we don't see, we see.
So this cat kills like 5 people at the beginning of this movie.
Well, what ends up happening is that the cat gets pinned against people, and then we zoom in on the face, and it has a very bad effect for its wide open mouth that's fake.
It's like a weird puppet.
It's a weird puppet.
You've seen this puppet. You've seen this puppet of this cat on the internet, I'm sure. Like, yes. It's such a well-known like looking puppet. I don't know. It's probably been used in memes and stuff, but you've seen this cat before, and it looks insane.
Yeah, we'll put the cat up on the Twitter. You'll know it immediately. It's as well known as the hot dog guy who's trying to find who is to blame, but like, and then it opens its mouth while yowling, because always yelling, and then. At first, I thought a second cat was coming out from the inside of the cat.
Maybe it is a second cat. It looks like a rat. It looks like it might be another cat.
Yeah, it's hard to say if it's supposed to be an alien monster or a straight up rat or a demon or a second meaner cat inside the cat.
Inside you, there's a second meaner cat.
What if the worst part of the alien xenomorph was just the little xenomorph inside its mouth?
Yes, I think that's kind of what they're going for. Is they're going for something like that. But they're taking the idea of this alien thing and they're putting it into the cat from Alien.
But it's so cute, and then all this rat thing puppet comes out of its other puppet mouth. It's a puppet inside a puppet, which is very impressive. I mean, that's the finest trick the devil ever played with us, is put a puppet inside another puppet.
It's a terpuppin.
It's a terpuppin. Just in time for Canadian Thanksgiving, we have a terpuppin. But the cat, they have like this great cat POV shot while Josh's favorite unnerving music plays, which is like wind through metal tubes. But they only have.
I love that sound effect so much. I don't know what it's called. I don't know how it's made, but I love this. I can't even describe it. You would just have to hear it. But they used it in Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes, and it was just this thing that, as a child, chilled me to my core.
Were you chilled at the POV shots when they showed the same? Especially the cat.
No.
It's in the parking garage. Once again, the scariest thing possible at just your job. Not even poorly lit, and. There are apparently tons of people at this building. Luckily, only 4 of them are in the parking lot.
Yeah, there's a ton of cars in the parking lot.
I mean, like, I'm sure Activision's upstairs. They got an office. we got Coca-Cola there. We got Wells Fargo. All the big shots. But like, and this cat radiation monster place. And the cat keeps, in theory, the cat is hiding under the cars. Because we see the POV shots, but it's the same POV shot at least 3 times. So it's just circling the same car.
It kills one of the security guards. We do not know the fate of Paul, but it does get the good doctor who takes it right in the neck. And we have some great shots of the cat just kind of running along grates and air ducts and stuff, back and forth. It's an adorable cat. It's very big and fluffy and very cute.
It looks really nice, and it must be very talented. Like I can't imagine like letting loose a cat in a parking lot with a bunch of cars could hide underneath and not losing the trained cat for real.
Yeah.
Like no matter how much tuna or whatever you're using to lure it out, like that is like a cat in a room with 2 beds. You're not going to get that cat out from underneath that bed for weeks. Imagine like the cat going at some place it's not familiar with, where it has 1,000 little cars to hide underneath, and you have to make sure it doesn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously, they figured it out, but it's a very well-trained cat and cat puppet. So we see the cat escape, and it gets out of the building. Oh, we should say that they make the the choice of locking down the building, which just entails them slowly lowering some metal shutters with holes in them that the cat could probably squeeze through.
I mean, it's a cat, but like when he does it, Potato Head is just like, the building is secure. I'm like, it's a huge building and it's one door in a parking lot. Like imagine if this a building this big with this many cars in it, and the parking ramp had one door. It also gets out very easily afterwards.
Yeah, but just getting out of your office at the end of the day would take 2 hours.
Imagine the door fell. Like there's an electrical problem. That door closed on its own or didn't open, and nobody could get in or out. Great. Fantastic. Good building making. I'm
We're
sure.
all trapped in here with these weird experimental cats.
And these guys with hazmat suits that appear to have goggles and fish eyes on them. What is with this mask on this guy's hazmat suit?
I don't know. He's different from the other two. So there's three people in hazmat suits that are going down the stairwell looking for the cat, and two of them are in this sort of traditional yellow hazmat suits that you're used to, and then the third is in like the aluminum foil like baked potato hazmat suit that they wore in like Predator 2, and it's unclear why he's wearing that one and no one else is, but he's the one carrying the cat crate, so maybe he's got to be extra insulated from radiation,
And it's like his
from this weird cat monster.
And his helmet looks like it has like steampunk goggles built in. And I was like,
yeah, he's got like 3 black holes on his face, 2 for his eyes and 1 for his mouth, I guess.
it's so weird. And I thought, that's an intriguing look. I bet he's important. No, he's the one who dies.
He's dead almost immediately.
He's the first person killed in the movie. Why is he unique if he's gonna? Paul's not unique.
Well, Paul let the cat out, so
I mean, Paul is the inciting Paul.
that's right. So we cut away from this exciting moment, this exciting opening, and we cut to 2 women hanging out outside of a hotel, and they are they're in bathing suits and ripped up T-shirts, and they're complaining because apparently there are no hotels available in the area, and this is the last hotel that they haven't tried yet. And they're going to go in and they're going to give it a shot. And we find out a little bit later that it's spring break, so it makes sense why the hotels are full. It makes sense why they are dressed in bathing suits. But it seems like they just arrived and they haven't really figured out where they're going to stay. I guess this is that weird freewheeling thing that teens do, which is just go somewhere and figure out where you're going to stay, which gives me extreme anxiety.
Especially now, man, just let's show up someplace and try to figure out where to go. But like, there's like people.
No, I couldn't do that. I could never do that. Even in non-COVID times, I have to have some sort of plan. Like if I go somewhere and I don't know where I'm sleeping, I'm going to be pissed off.
I always hated as a kid. My father was a cheap ass, right? He didn't like spending money, and he would go to towns on trips, and he would just go to like motel after motel and A, see if they had vacancy because he never called ahead, and B, try to negotiate down the price. So my brother and I would sit in the car and wait to see if my dad like bartered his way into a room at any particular hotel, and none of them, they all had the word budget in it, so like we weren't getting a nice room anyways. So like that always but for my rest of my life, like that's the last thing I ever want to do because I just felt this entire nervousness at all time. Like, are we even gonna fucking find a place to stay? And we could afford a hotel. He just didn't want to. And it was just, I never want to deal with like this, like walk up and figure it out shit. But like. They not only at a hotel, they're at a movie snooty hotel where there's somebody who like, there's people making out all around this hotel outside, all these spring breakers. There's a guy who's in the lobby who's making sure that if anyone here doesn't have a reservation, they can't be in the lobby, and those type don't have reservations at our hotel, which I've never been in a hotel where like they give you a shit if you're in the lobby. And B, someone will show up, like someone that's going to be here, and everyone in the hotel knows who it is, and they're ready to like, oh, Mr. Blah, 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 whatever you want, sir. If that happened,
we don't know if this guy, maybe he owns this hotel.
Maybe, here's the thing. I think like they say Mr. Graham, he's a Bernie Lomax because he is a creep. Oh. He's rich and he's a creep.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So I think we have a Lomax on our hands here.
Oh, we got a real Lomax situation. Yeah.
We got girls in bikinis and we have a rich asshole. I think we have a Lomax.
Is he going to end up dead? Are these 2 girls going to have to puppet him around?
What if he dies and the monster in the cat gets in his mouth, and then like they got to carry him around to use him as a weapon?
Oh man, that would be great. I'm fine with that. Let's have a Weekend at Bernie scenario where there's just a weird monster inside him.
But prediction anyways, this guy's going to die.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think that's fairly clear. He comes up and is a real creep.
He's a real creep. By the way, also, the one friend who is really into the idea of going to this hotel and winging it and stuff, she's going to die, and the other one's our main character.
Oh, you think so? So you think the one who's more like, let's just do this kind of thing is the one who's going to get taken out because she's not the, quote, good girl that you need in horror movies?
Pretty much exactly that, yes.
Yes. I mean, we had not gotten out of the... We had not gotten, I think, to the maybe the more transgressive or subversive points in horror yet. So it seems likely that they'll stick to the format, probably. I
mean, this is dead center in the middle of the format. We weren't playing with the format that often, especially in movies that have a secret monster inside of a secret cat.
Yes. So, yeah, he comes up to them and he's, kind of swinging his dick around and like, oh, they always freak out during spring break, but I might be able to help you out with a place to stay. You should come to dinner with me. And it's just like, oh, my God, red flag, red flag, red flag.
And our possible main character is like, this is a red flag. And her friend's like, sure, let's do it. So that makes me think she's cat food. she's Fancy Feast. She's Meow Mix.
Keep going.
She's Fancy Feast sliced instead of pate.
Nah, you got lazy.
I only feed my cat 2 kinds of food. She's Purina 1 minus 1. I don't know.
What's that new Rachel Ray shit that she's got out? Those new cat treats that I keep seeing ads for on whenever I watch something on IMDb TV.
Why do you watch anything on IMDb TV?
I don't know, because it's free to watch some stuff on there that I don't have to pay for.
Oh, man, you have a subscription to Fandor. What do you need? The company doesn't. You have a subscription to a company that apparently doesn't even exist.
This guy who's playing Walter Graham, by the way, we should say, is Alex Cord, who was on a bunch of episodes of Airwolf, if anyone remembers that show. And that's probably his big claim to fame. But yeah, he's suitably skeezy and gross. So yeah, I hope that he does die. While they're having dinner, we see our other big man on campus that we were waiting for in this movie. George Kennedy shows up at the hotel to find Walter Graham, and he says, "Hey, we have a meeting. We have to go now." And he introduces him as Mike Harvey. He says, "My business associate or my friend here is a little." He's a little rushed, or he says something about that. And he's like, we have to go. We have a meeting. And that's roughly where our 10 minutes ends. So I'm going to think that means that Walter Graham, the hotel magnate that he is somehow connected to this experimental research facility where they were experimenting on 618 and caused it to be what it is.
I like to mix my portfolios as well. A little bit of hotel, a little bit of bank stock, some tech stock, and radiation cats.
Yeah, radiation cats with weird monsters in their faces.
But they don't even know what it's like. Okay, they're experimenting on cats. The cat, they're worried the second the cat is out, they had to put hazmat suits on to catch it, even though the 2 other guys were not wearing anything when they were about to inject it with the needle. But
oh yeah,
okay, whatever. But it's apparently that big a radiation problem if you're not these 2 guys. And they're like, oh, there's a tumor in it, but we don't know what's in the tumor.
To be fair, those doctors are just riddled with tumors, so it really doesn't matter to them.
That's true as well. But so they're doing something that's created a cat that has a monster inside of it, but they don't know that they did this. So it's a very interesting investment if that's what either of these businessmen are doing. I don't know. Let's make cats so full of radiation until they grow monster tumors inside. And then this other guy who's a Ninja Turtle says, "Yeah, man."
Yeah. Okay. So that's an interesting idea, though. if the idea is that they're trying to kill tumors and they're doing these experimentations on the cats in order to kill tumors to then make the drug or whatever it is available to humans, does that mean we might get a weird, like, creepy tumor monster inside a person?
I think we are. I think what we're going to get is, I don't think we're going to have the cat the whole movie because that's hard.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's a difficult shoot for on a budget. I think we're going to quickly have the cat now that it has escaped. It's going to have at least one more kill where it's going to finally inject the monster into someone else. And then we're going to,
yes.
And then we're going to have a situation of who has the monster inside of them. And the answer is all of us.
The monster inside is just the one we made along the way.
Exactly. That's why there's only one set of footprints, because the monster isn't on your back. It's not walking next to you. It's inside the tumor inside of you.
I like that idea, though. I like the idea of the uninvited being this thing that is injected into you, and then you carry it around. And it's very much like The Thing, which also this is probably what they were kind of ripping off, but that you don't know who has it, and they keep passing it along to each other, and it's up to George Kennedy to stop it.
Action movie hero George Kennedy.
Or stop right there, monster.
A beautiful deep voice, though. Just iconic voice.
Yeah, part of the Kennedy dynasty. He's not.
Everyone named Kennedy is part of the Kennedy dynasty, whether they want to be or not.
It's just like, I mean, George Kennedy is to the Kennedy dynasty as George Clinton and his P-Funk All-Stars are to Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Tell me this: if your last name was Kennedy, it's not, but say it was. It's a hypothetical. Don't act like I'm saying your last name is Kennedy.
No, but it's not.
Yeah, we're trying to make everyone think your name is Josh Hollis so that nobody cyber stalks you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
No, it's not Kennedy at all. Please, no, it's not Kennedy.
Right, exactly. But if it was,
it never has been.
It never has been. You would, among your friends and among like your college mates, among your compadres, you would use your middle initial and call yourself J blank K, right?
Probably.
Because that's what you would do. You also would wear a series of hats, each more extravagant than the last, and that would be a nice replacement for having an actual personality. So you have a nickname and you wear hats and you're set.
Yeah,
that's college.
That's all you need.
That's all you need for college. Honest to God.
You don't need anything else.
Your nickname is Sprite. You wear shirts that all have the Sprite logo on it.
Oh my God.
I mean, I am referencing it.
What a fucking loser I would be.
I am referencing a specific fucking loser from my college years. And
I bet he had an uninvited tumor monster inside him that was making him do those things.
I hope so, because otherwise he's the most annoying fuck I've ever met. But also, much like people aren't aware that there was a tumor monster inside this cat, he wasn't aware that he was a fucking tool.
Perfect.
Josh, make a prediction. I made like 3 or 4.
I made one.
How much nudity is in this movie?
Oh, probably a little bit.
Like a run through a room and people happen to be naked in the background?
Maybe, or maybe
George Kennedy's
like
ass.
We see. Oh my God! I hope so.
I bet it talks.
Oh, God. That's where the tumor monster comes out.
Yes. You want to make a Photoshop of that? That's the scary thing for Halloween.
No, I don't want to. I do not want to Photoshop anything coming out of or going into George Kennedy's ass.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving for that meal.
Well, until Thursday, when we are back talking about the rest of Uninvited, I've been Spooky Josh.
No, thank you. Don't do that. This is Ivan Skinner. I hope that you invite us back next Thursday into your house.
Oh, yes, that's right. Do not leave us uninvited.
Oh, that's better. You did a better job than I did.
And we predict you'll join us. If you like the show, subscribe, rate, and review us over at Apple Podcasts. We're on Twitter and Instagram at predictocast, and you can find our entire back catalog at predictocast.com. Our theme music is by Kyle Sledge. Find more of his work at soundcloud.com/geistmusic. To get monthly bonus content, sign up at patreon.com/predictocast. As always, thanks for listening.